Reeves.
Hi!
Welcome to Conversations, Cocktails, and Connections. I'm Emily Reeves.
And I'm Amy Hester.
And tonight we are going to make a paper plane cocktail. Our friend Mel Turner recommended it to us.
Okay.
And so we're going to mix it up. It's got bourbon and Aperol and Campari and lemon juice.
These are components I probably would never have had in my bar had she not
I know.
said anything. So
I know. Yeah, you can see we've got fresh bottles of most of this, except for the bourbon. We've had
yeah,
bourbon.
we've had bourbon. We like the bourbon.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had these before. I'm sure I have, maybe in a drink somewhere down the line, but I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. And we get to use the cute little coupe glasses.
Yes.
Love.
We're wearing our new bar aprons. Well, they're grill aprons, but we made them bar aprons.
Yeah, Mark and Graham. With an awesome little keychain. Well, I guess it's not a keychain. It could be a keychain.
It could be a keychain, but
bottle opener.
It's our apron accessory.
We could put,
yeah. See, the bottles fit in the apron.
just in case you didn't get enough. Save it for later.
All right, should we mix it up before we sit down and visit?
Yes.
All right, so we've got our cocktail shaker.
Okay.
All right, so the first thing is, per serving is 1.5 ounces of Amaro. Yes, that's what Matthew told me I was pronouncing it incorrectly. But so we're using Campari as our Amaro. So I'm going to be doubling it. So we need 3 ounces in there. So let's put all this red goodness in there.
I think it's supposed to be bitter and sweet, correct?
Oh, okay.
I'm not
That makes
100%
sense.
sure. This is for sure.
This says bitter on it.
Okay.
It says bitter. Okay, then we need 1.5 ounces of the Aperol. So again, I'm going to do fresh bottle, 3 ounces of this.
I wonder how long it will take to drink the whole bottle. Will that be one of those?
It depends on how much we like this beverage.
Yes. And then, go ahead.
I was gonna say, although I have been, looking at cocktail recipes quite a bit, and there's a lot of...
You've seen it in other things.
So
we will listen. It's going to be a stocked bar.
Yeah, it is. All right, 1.5 ounces of bourbon, so doubling that will be 3 ounces of bourbon.
I love, again, the smell of bourbon.
I love the taste of bourbon.
And the taste. I feel like I should make a paper plane.
Isn't that what we're like an actual paper plane?
Yeah, like a paper plane.
I was like, isn't that what we're making? I thought that's what we were making.
It's like school's about to start for kids. I think of paper planes, like in the movies, they might throw one in the classroom. I don't think anybody does that anymore.
Okay, so per serving, it's 1.5 ounces of lemon juice. So we need 3 ounces of fresh
Is that
lemon
perfect?
juice.
Yes, and a little left.
Yeah.
We were trying to guestimate to make sure that
We had
if we had enough, but...
All right, then we're going to add some ice to our shaker. A little bit more.
I can smell it. It smells good. Or maybe I just smell the bourbon.
And I'm going to shake it up.
Do you garnish this with anything?
Nope.
No. Oh. You ever watch Top Chef? Have you ever watched Top Chef? There was an episode once on Top Chef where they went to the Maker's Mark.
I've been to the Maker's Mark.
Yeah?
I have a bottle that I dipped.
I want to do that so badly. Maybe after COVID we could take a trip there. Wouldn't that be fun?
I did like the whole tasting room and everything.
Did?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was on a business trip. It was like one of those everybody. It's a conference, I think.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna strain it into our coupe glasses. It's very frothy.
It's kind of turned to a little pinkish.
I can't imagine
the color. Why. It's.
We put 2 red things in it, so it's It's pretty.
We might have a little bit left. I hope we like it.
All right,
Still
we like
a lot in here.
leftovers.
Okay.
All right.
Cheers.
It's pretty tasty.
Yeah.
I can taste like the bitter and the sweet.
You can taste the bitter for sure in there.
Yeah.
I like it.
It is.
It's different.
Mel, we appreciate and approve of your recommendation.
Cheers.
Cheers.
you?
Well, how hot do I look? Or no? Since I don't leave my house much, it's not as hot as you might think. But I don't really want to go outside at all.
It's been really hot, although this weekend was kind of nice. And it was the first time that I've actually gone home from work and sat outside on the patio.
Mm-hmm.
But the downside to this current weather, I don't know what it is, if there's a season for flies, but they're out.
They're terrible.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I feel like I'm always thinking about fighting the mosquitoes in the summer, but the flies, I need some suggestions if there's something to do for the flies. And we pay for a mosquito people to come, and I would think that would cover flies too, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we've got flies like crazy, and they're like all like under our, like porch. And so you can't even sit like under the fan. Like we turn the fan on, and that doesn't really help. And I mean, part of it has to probably do with the dogs, but
yeah. Well, so I did this whole thing about her hearing about some kind of plastic bag, and you put like sugar. Have you ever seen that before?
And water and stuff, and hang it. Yeah,
it doesn't work.
And it looks ugly.
Oh, it looks terrible. But the other night I came home and I was like, I'm just going to go sit outside, have a glass of wine. And Matt was so sweet, and he brought like some cheese and crackers.
Aww.
Within like a second, I swear every fly in all of Little Rock came to attack the cheese board. And so we had to take it inside. And it makes me sad because I really enjoy when you can have a nice day to sit outside, because right now at this time of year in Arkansas is very far. It's just
I've just like literally been sitting inside, watching a lot of TV, reading a lot of books, and just like staring at my computer screen. I'm terrible about not leaving the house.
There's been a couple of little things that have popped up on Instagram that I've thought of you, like cooling things. Like
I have them all.
Have you seen the one that goes around and it's got two tiny little...
I don't own that because I'm afraid that my hair would get caught in it.
Oh.
And but then I saw one the other day that was like, your hair won't get caught. It's like different. And I was like, no. But I have the things that like you soak in water and they're cooling, and like you tie, like they look like a little handkerchief that you tie around your neck. I've got those. I mean, it's...
So somebody came in the salon the other day that had... It literally looked like maybe a Yeti, or the size of maybe a tall Yeti. And you put ice in it, or either it has like a cooling thing where you freeze, kind of like a cooler thing. And then it has this fan in it, and it literally just blows. It worked. I mean,
I have a little, like, I keep fans in my purse. Like, I know we've got the fan like that, but I also have, like, little USB powered, fans that I can, like, stick in my face and blow.
Since this was blowing from the coldness of the ice or the frozen, I was like, it's like a little portable air conditioner.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. So what's going on with you this week? Have you done anything fun?
No, I have not done anything fun.
Well, since she hasn't really gone many places, so have you experienced anything fun at home?
I mean, there are things I do that are fun for me.
Yes.
I know. But I'm a big nerd. Like, last night I was home alone because Matthew and Sophie went out to like a friend's property for the night. So I had like a night at home alone.
So those are grand, I will say. And I never have said grand in my vocabulary. I don't know where that came from.
The nights at home are grand?
Yes.
They are.
Like, where did grand come from? But they're grand. That's the word of the day.
But, and so what did I do is like, I watched online videos learning how to do stuff. Like, I have subscription to Skillshare, which is like, where people like go, like they teach you stuff. It's like $15 a month, and they have like all these different things. Like if you can dream it, somebody's out there teaching it, and
what did you learn?
Well, so I wanted to learn.
Oh my God.
Well, last night I was like, I've been trying to improve the audio for our podcast, and we get a little bit better every week, or we make a new mistake every week that I figure out how to make better next time. Yeah. Like I forget to press the record button where the microphone's not plugged in, or, there's like little things here and there, but in general, I'm just trying to make it better. And so I was like, I need to learn like audio editing software, because right now I use video editing software and then extract the audio and all this stuff. And so I watched tutorials
I'm so impressed.
I was like, this is my big night at home alone, and I'm going to sit in my office, which is about the size of a small closet, and when I have the whole house to myself, and I'm going to watch these videos. But that is like super nerd me.
Well, I mean, we love to do that.
But I do. That's what I like to do.
You like to do that. So I, on the other hand, did not do that. I like to learn things, but I'm more a visual learner. I don't like to read directions. I like I watch
videos. That's what I was doing, was videos.
Well, but when I say that, I like for people to actually be in front of me.
Oh, you want them in person?
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely don't want to interact with humans.
No, you don't.
I don't. I mean, I know who I am, and I know what I prefer, and I'm not alone. There are a lot of people like me in the world.
Yes. I know. Well, that's what makes it a good team, right?
That is true. That is true.
But if ever Matt is ever out of town, I will pop a squat and watch something completely through. And Matt wasn't out of town on Saturday, but he did give me a day, because I did have to tell him that I don't ever get a day alone.
Right.
Like, I don't.
You just need it. Yeah.
He gets a lot of alone time because he's at the house working, and I will be at work. And so when I come home, he's there. And there's nothing wrong with it, but you can't take offense to when I say I need some alone time. Yeah. I didn't actually go to that extreme and say I need alone time, but he was nice enough to let me be, and I watched an entire season of something, and I wish that I could remember the name of it, because we just got the Peacock Network.
Okay.
And so I'm finding that I'm really liking the Peacock Network app on my smart TV.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff on there that I watch.
Speaking of TV and shows, have you watched Palm Springs yet?
Yes.
I adored it.
It is so good.
It's Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
And it's
kind of do you know the girl's name?
Well, if you hadn't said it, I probably would have.
I want to go to Palm Springs so badly. But
that is so cute, though. It's like a Groundhog's Day for, but totally different, and I just really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really, really cute.
And
he kind of sometimes gets on my nerves a little bit, but he didn't in this movie.
Have you watched The King of Staten Island yet?
No.
So that's Pete Davidson, which I think we talked about like wanting to watch, but I just recently watched it. And
I mean, it's good.
It was okay.
I don't like him.
Oh, see, I like him. There's something very endearing about him.
I've heard if you don't like him, you would like him after this movie. But
I don't know. But
I think it's just the whole all of his real life stuff that makes headlines, with all the models, and they're all like young and beautiful, and I'm just like, ugh.
I don't think he's really like I've read a bunch of like articles and interviews with him, and then seen interviews with him, and I don't think he's really like that. And his stand-up, he did a Netflix stand-up special, and he talked about the Ariana Grande thing, and which I got really tickled about, because he was like, she knows what she's doing. She's a really smart person. When she told everybody that I had a big dick, she was basically ruining me for anybody else, because it was an inside joke that we have, because our hands are so tiny, everything looks big in them.
Oh my God.
And so now everybody that dates me is going to be disappointed. I mean, it was really funny. Like, he's kind of awesome, self-deprecating in that way. Yeah. And so there's something about him that I just thought, he's a baby. He's so young.
Yeah. Didn't his dad
died in 9/11?
Yes. A client was telling me about this story, this movie, and that it's kind of loosely based on his life. But I think in the movie, they don't really say it was 9/11.
What he didn't.
Oh, okay.
They didn't set it in 9/11 for the movie. But anyway, I think it's worth watching.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing on. I swear. I mean, as far as like, typically I can go to watch Amazon Prime and buy something, because I usually buy movies if I feel like I'm going to watch them again. Mm-hmm. But more so impatience. I mean, I just don't have the patience for waiting for it to become a rental. Typically,
right. That's me.
When it's time to watch it, so I'll typically buy it. But I don't even feel like that. The list of purchasing is great.
Have you watched The Politician?
I think I started it when it first came out, but I haven't finished it.
So the second season is now out?
Which I love Judith White, isn't that her name? From Who's the Boss?
Yes, and Bette Midler and Gwyneth Paltrow, and I love Ben Platt. He's the main character.
Yes.
And so I watched the second season of that and just found it to be delightful as well because it's just, they're all kind of shitty, but you kind of like them too because it's just kind of a fun.
So, Gwyneth Paltrow, let me go on to 2 things with her because I think she's great. Well, 3 things. 1, did you watch the Goop thing on Netflix?
No.
Okay, well, you should. I've only watched like 2 or 3, but they're very interesting. 2, I love my new Goop sunscreen oil. It's a moisturizing sunscreen oil. Okay, so
this isn't the one for your face that we've talked about several times.
No, this is a new one. I just got this. So I'm all about the Goop sunscreen stuff now. So now I'm like totally targeted. And I do like it because I have to wear sunscreen if I'm anywhere out in the sun. But so like when you're a kid, like there just wasn't a lot of sunscreen. So you had like the really creamy stuff you would put all over your face, or you had oil, which had nothing in it. And so I always wanted to put the oil on, but it couldn't. It'd be like frying bacon. But it's a moisturizer, so you feel like it's really moisturizing your skin, but it's not as lubey as what an old school oil
and it's
be.
the Goop, like her brand Goop.
Yes,
there is a sunscreen brand that's Goop that is not associated with her.
No, it's her group. Okay. And they have 2 sizes. I ended up buying the small one just to try it. And it has, I think it has 40 or 50. And this isn't it, but I mean, you really can't see right now, but I do have an oil on my arm, but it's not like, it's going to be kind of moisturizing like this. It's not like super shiny. Yeah. So I do feel like it gives you a glow with sunscreen, which I like.
Interesting. Yeah.
And then the third thing that I was going to say is, did you see the most beautiful photo of her and her daughter?
I knew that was going to be on your list.
It's gorgeous.
Identical.
Gorgeous.
Well, I mean, her parents.
Yeah, she's pretty. But I can't believe how old she is. I mean, I don't know exactly how old, but she's teenager years. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean,
and she's so pretty.
We're just getting old.
No,
I know you hate it when I say
that. I'm not. Nope. Gonna skip on over this year. Check. But yeah, I that popped up. I think it was this week, and I was just like, she is, and it keeps popping up. People
because all these people are reposting it. Yeah.
Because she's so pretty. But what? Okay, turning around. What about Regis? I'm so sad.
I know. I mean, but I'll be really honest.
He was that old.
I didn't know he was still alive. I mean, like, because you just hadn't heard anything. Like, I mean, and so it is sad, but also, Yeah,
I was kind of sad about that. I went on did I ever tell you I went on the Regis and Kelly show? Not as a guest.
I don't know if you ever told me that or not.
So I went one time to New York with when I worked at Joel's with Amanda, and we went to a show, or not a show, it was a class, and we had gotten tickets to Regis and Kelly, and it was really fun. I used to watch it religiously at this time, so I watched it every single morning. But after being on the show, no offense, Kelly, no offense, Regis, but once I got on the show and I was there and actually seeing it live, I didn't really watch it much after that.
It lost its luster.
Well,
you saw behind the curtain.
I don't know what it was, and I think it just probably has to do with people. Personalities. I mean, you have to be vivacious and out there, and I will give it to them that in order to do that, it looks normal when you're watching it on TV, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes. I mean, some are more than others, but I felt like she kind of bugged a little bit in person.
That's interesting.
And I used to watch All My Children, and she was on it. And she was on a dance show, and I can't remember the dance show. It was like okay, I'm not old, and this show is so old, but it was one of those like teen dance. It was not like American Bandstand or anything like that. It was like, I don't know, but she was a dancer.
Oh, she's cute.
Oh, she's adorable. I mean, she is. Her family is perfect. I mean,
and doesn't I mean, I only know this.
I do like her.
I only know this because I just read, all about Regis. Is that Ryan Seacrest is now the co-host of that show?
Yes.
That's so weird.
Actually, they make a really good pair.
He does so much stuff.
He found
his way.
Amazing.
He found his way.
I will just say, I don't really watch anything that he does, but he's always been. I mean, he knows some stuff.
I mean, he's a good talk show. So I mean, kind of
Yeah.
like Regis Philbin, like that was his whole career. And when you are like a host and connecting people and know all the stuff, I mean, he just does it. He's good.
Kind
he's
of
good
like
at keeping it going.
Andy, what's his name? Bravo guy, Andy. Why can't I think of his last name? That's so terrible.
Yeah, I know. I mean, people are screaming it at us right now.
I know. Oh my god. Holy shit.
It's so Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen.
Thank you.
Because
Andy
they
Cohen.
do like a traveling show together too.
They do?
Uh-huh. Or they did. They went on tour together at one point.
Anderson Cooper. Oh my god, he is precious, and I feel like these people would be our friends.
Well, of course.
I mean, I think we would have fun conversation, and Anderson Cooper, I would die to just sit here and listen to him giggle.
He is cute.
I mean, when he giggles and I love how quick he is on his feet, especially when you're talking politics. I just think he's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always so amazed when people can just spout it out.
Yeah,
with something
they're like
right
super
back.
knowledgeable about the topics. Yeah,
and they challenge them, but it's almost kind of a cocky way because they know they're right and they know their stuff and they're catching people like.
Yeah. I mean, that's
lying,
why
basically.
That's why they're good. That's why they're on national TV. And,
I mean, and he just adopted a baby. I know. So cute. I don't know who he's married to or his partner is. Do you?
Either.
I don't either.
I don't know if he does have a partner.
I think he does.
I have no idea. Maybe they don't want people to know.
Right. I mean, I think that is the really interesting thing is because there's people in Hollywood who want to be seen and photographed. They actually call people to let them know where they are.
It's vital to their career that they be out there.
But then there's some people who I guess are already up there. Right. They don't have to call anybody. You don't even know who they're married to. You don't know where they live. Yeah. And they're just being humans like we are.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. I guess I don't know if you have to be already in your... I think it's usually the reality show people that are like the Kardashians and that kind of crap.
I don't know. Sorry. I mean, but in order to, because they're not doing anything else, right? Yeah. Like they're not on, a news show every night, or they're not on something that's every day that's kind of like in the like common scenes. Yeah. They kind of have to be. I don't know.
What do you think about Kanye and his crazy?
I mean, luckily we don't have anybody in our family that has mental illness, so I can't identify with whatever is going on, but I feel for them because I know like to have such a public platform to showcase your mental issues and then have your family have to try to do, clean up and take care of you afterwards. And so
I'm not even 100% sure what exactly it was that he said, but I just know, do you know?
He talked about like his whole family trying to lock him up and, all this stuff, which, he was off meds, he's bipolar. So he also held a rally for his presidential campaign.
Also, how many people came to his rally?
I don't know. We know? I don't know. I mean, he's not Donald Trump. He doesn't need to spout off numbers, but but he said some things like, crazy, like Harriet Tubman didn't save slaves. She just gave them to more white people to work for them. I mean, like he just kind of like said like, things that weren't based in fact. And he was wearing a bulletproof vest while he was doing it. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
So, he went off the rails a little bit and, but clearly he needs help and so hopefully he gets it.
Well, so I haven't really paid it. I mean, I'm not looking, I'm hearing this. I'm going to pour some small parts. Okay. Mm-hmm. But it was the one thing that I saw I found very interesting was that Dave Chappelle, like it shows that he came to his rescue or whatever. And I'm like, what the hell? It's like, why is Dave Chappelle friends with him? Blah, blah, blah. But I'm thinking Dave Chappelle because he had a mental breakdown, I think, and had to leave Hollywood for a while. And maybe he saw him as like, I need to help this dude. Like,
I think they're friends.
Are they friends?
Mm-hmm. I think they're friends.
Well, I was hoping my scenario was better than the fact that they're actually friends. I thought that he just was like, I'm going to do my part and I'm going to help him.
I think you probably saw a picture and made some assumptions.
I did.
I read
and
the
that's
caption.
how rumors get started. But actually, my rumor would have been a good rumor. That would have been a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Well. Yeah.
Dave Chappelle, champion. He's funny as hell. Okay,
he is. He is.
I love Dave Chappelle. So this weekend, like all things, we're trying to figure out what to watch. And there was one night without flipping, we decided we were going to watch Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence.
Which one? Like the original, the second,
the
or
original?
the most recent? Okay, yeah, it's good.
Okay, Martin Lawrence. Where is Martin? Because I love Martin.
He's still around. I think I follow him on Instagram.
Funny. He is so funny.
Well, and they just did a new Bad Boys.
It's not good.
I watched. I didn't hate it, but I also just like love Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, and there's some nostalgia in having them together again. So
where can we watch reruns of Martin? Because that show.
Have you looked? You could probably find it.
I know. We talked about it, but I have not done it. That one would be actually funnier now, I think, because I think it was in like junior high or high school when it was on, and of course we thought it was really funny. But now I'm sure I would catch a lot more like
of the jokes. I don't know that I ever watched it. I think I was probably just a tad too young.
Oh yeah.
If you were watching it in junior high and high
school, like there was like he would play this woman neighbor. I think it was Shanae. I'm pretty sure it was so funny. Oh my gosh, and he's just hilarious. He's one of those like Eddie Murphy-ish kind of people that can dress up and be a different character. Whenever you've seen an Eddie Murphy movie and he plays like 7 characters, you're like,
Coming to America.
Yes. There was always a rumor that Coming to America was going to come back to America. I mean,
but Eddie Murphy can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But did you see when he hosted Saturday Night Live a few months ago? I thought he did such a great job. I mean, I thought his monologue was great, and to bring back a lot of the old characters.
Did you see him on the Jerry Seinfeld getting coffee or writing?
I've watched all of them. That is one of my favorite shows. I don't think
the one with Eddie Murphy. I thought was really good because you can see how he's just this like awesome. He's I don't know what I'm trying to say, but he's just like somebody that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So he's respected. He's already done the thing. But then you go into like the younger comedians, you can tell they're a little bit more nervous.
Mm-hmm. And maybe we have talked about this. This sounds like a familiar conversation.
It does feel like it's so familiar. But anyway, he was so good.
I love everything about comedians and cars getting coffee. Like I will watch. I know why we talked about it because I talked about the Obama one because I rewatched the Obama one.
I need to watch that.
And it was so good. I mean, of course, he was in office at the time, so it's old, but it was so like good and just made you feel good to watch that again.
But Jerry Seinfeld looks and seems so comfortable, like to talk to. He doesn't look like he would make anybody uncomfortable.
He's like, really comfortable in his own skin.
Yes, he's just like somebody that's just hanging out.
So it kind of reminds me, this talking about Eddie Murphy and like old Saturday Night Live stuff and Jerry Seinfeld, Bill Murray. So he was making the rounds on the talk shows not that long ago because he was doing like raising money for restaurant workers because he's part owner in a restaurant, and he was so wacky on all of the shows. Well, I read this fascinating article about him that came out just recently, and he said something that really stuck with me. And he said, I'm going to be better at my job. Somebody told me that if you're having fun, you're going to be better at your job. So don't go on set being so serious. So that's what he does. He just goes on and like has fun. And that's how he goes through life. Like, that's
amazing.
Like people that see him out in the world, like he does create, like he walks by and eats French fries off of like random strangers' plates.
He crashes weddings too.
Oh, I mean,
have you heard of this?
And he just
maybe making that up, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he does. Okay. He just does like kind of whatever he wants. And it's like, I'm just going to live my life. Apparently he doesn't have an agent. Like to hire him, you have to get to him directly. In order to get to him, you have to know somebody that has his phone number, and you may have to call 15 times, and then he might say he'll do it, and then you just and then
let's start calling him.
And then you have to like just cross your fingers and hope that he actually shows up on the shoot day, because you're not sure that he actually will. Or he'll come in and he'll read the script and he'll be like, I got this, and then like ad-libs the whole thing. But it's always genius, you know, and it always works out. And it was a delightful article, because he just seems like another person that is super comfortable in their own skin, doesn't take themselves too seriously, and just...
So he was in this movie in I don't know what year this was, Meatballs. You ever see that?
Yeah, and they talk about meatballs in this article.
I fucking love Meatballs.
I mean, actually, I don't know that I've seen it.
An older, I mean, it's, I probably shouldn't have watched it as a child.
I don't think I've ever watched it because of that, yeah.
I mean, it was like, I was here and it was probably like for this. But because it dealt with camps, and I love camps and counselors and all that stuff. And it is hilarious. I mean, he's just so funny. And I love Ghostbusters. I love, he's amazing. Oh my God, we should start trying to get a hold of him if that's the way he does things.
Well, I mean, you got to find somebody that has the contact information. I mean, but I mean, you just never know. Like, you just never know. It's just really interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
But they talked about Meatballs, and they also talked about Ghostbusters, and he said that when he was watching like the first cut of Ghostbusters, he watched it and he's like, oh, I'm about to be a star. Like he knew that movie was that good. And
have you watched it since to see like...
it was my all-time favorite movie growing up.
Yeah.
Like people, what are your favorite Ghostbusters? Like, I mean, it was my all-time favorite
But
movie.
if you watch it now, it is so funny to see the special effects, like how things have changed. I mean, God, things have changed in special effects just
in 2 years. I mean, things just moved really quickly.
It's insane how okay. Never mind. I'll talk about this another day, because it really got me. The show that I watched and binged on Saturday was about films and how people can doctor films.
Oh yeah, like the deep fake.
Yes. It's scary. Okay, actually.
Well, since you're not going to talk about it now, I'm going to go back, because you did say you wanted to wait and talk about it.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, so I can't talk about it. I can't share it.
Back to Ghostbusters. So I love that movie so much. In my car in high school, no, I had a cassette tape with the soundtrack, and I would listen to it so much. And one day, my brother and I were driving, and like I had it in, and he was so tired of me listening to that tape, he ejected it and threw it out the window, and I was so upset. Like, I stopped the car and like, I mean, we were like in a residential like neighborhood, and like got back out and went to go find the tape. He was like, I'm so tired of this, and like ejected it and threw it out the window.
I wonder what other songs are on it, besides the Ray Parker Jr. Ghostbusters song.
I can't even remember now. I mean, I'm sure like if I played it, I would know exactly what, like, oh yeah, but I would listen to it all the time.
But you know how we were talking a couple weeks ago about the reunions that people have done through Zoom and Goonies? Did we talk about there being a Ghostbuster one? Because I may have thought about this, but I had watched it. Matt and I watched it during COVID at some point, so we've watched it since. But the guy who plays in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, what's that guy's name?
Rick Moranis?
Yes. I mean,
we did talk about this because he's the one that didn't come back. He's the only one that wasn't in the Ghostbusters remake.
Yes.
But everybody else was. Even Sigourney Weaver. I mean, like, all of them were.
I wonder why did he not get invited?
He did get invited. Oh my God, I'm having like
deja
vu, because we had this exact same conversation.
I'm not sure if we had the conversation on film.
I don't know that we did either. I can't remember. Did, sorry. But because we do talk outside of this.
Yes.
But he was invited and he chose not to come. I can't remember why, or like what. Like he's like just moved on and is doing different things with his life and didn't want to be back as part of it. But yeah,
he did quite a few movies in the 80s that were like, he always had kind of that nerdy, nerdy profile, and that was his thing.
Yeah.
But if you think about, so one of my sister-in-law's friends is a working actress in New York, and she told Emily something that made me think about how, there's always somebody that wants to be an actor or whatever. How many huge actors, I mean, there's a ton of actors out there that, and you think about all these gorgeous people, they're like, oh, I want to be an actor, or all these pretty people. But there's always if you think about a movie, to make it realistic, there's actors that look normal that might be a heavier set older lady
Right.
or a nerdy guy. But I think there's probably more working actors being not the lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Like if you think about it, there's a lot of people in movies that
Are just real.
yeah, and there's a
People.
handful of people that I've seen in a million movies, and you recognize them. I don't know their names, but you like them, but they're never the lead.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's cool though, because they are literally, that's their job. They're working actors,
Yeah.
which we know somebody that's doing
Yeah.
that. But anyway, off that subject really quick, I have to ask you something that's targeting me right now are birdies.
Yes, the little slippers. Like
so the
slipper
slippers.
loafer things. I have a pair. Do you have a pair?
No, I want a pair, and
They are
I've
really
tried to
comfortable.
buy the newest one, and they're pointed toe mules, and they are so cute. But I love the fact you can see the pillow.
Mm-hmm. They are really
The
comfortable.
pillow on the sole of the shoe looks so comfortable, but they're sold out.
Speaking of shoes, I bought these shoes on your recommendation. The On Human Cloud shoes.
Yes, are they not feeling
They're
like you walk on a
super
cloud?
comfortable. Yeah.
I love
I
them.
looked at all the different, and I love the way that on their website they describe their shoes, because they're like, this is for, wearing around all day, traveling and commuting versus trail running versus distance running. I'm like, yes, give me the I walk around my house all day shoe.
I was talking to Amy Turpin about this earlier. We were talking about shoes. I love mine. I wish I'd gotten a darker color because I got a buff color.
Oh, so I got the darker colors.
And I like it. I think I'm gonna have to just buy another one.
Oh, and then I also bought the color coordinating socks. Of course, because I put them in my cart because I bought them straight from their website. I put them in my cart, and they're like, "Would you like to add these socks?" And I was like, "I will have 2 of those, please."
Sure.
Because I bought a pair of Allbirds not that long ago, and
It's Allbirds.
so they're also sneakers that are recycled stuff, and you can machine wash them, and all. They're really, really, really comfortable. And I got a pair of coordinating socks on those, and then I was like, well, I like the way these look with the coordinating socks better than any other. So then I went back and bought 3 more pairs of the exact same socks.
Yeah,
so.
I have a hard time with there's so many stores that'll have cute socks that might be ankle or higher. What are those called? That have a pattern that are taller socks, and I don't know how to wear those. I don't own any that are just, unless I wear them in the winter in boots and you can't see the pattern.
Right.
But I've never thought about buying those.
Yeah, because they just show
cute.
a little bit of that, and then it's all of a sudden it makes the shoe a whole
The
bit.
only thing that I will say about those, and I absolutely love them, and Amy Turpin's the one that told me about them, and she told me this, and I will say I have gotten a rock, because the tread at the bottom is pretty wide, so if you're walking outside and you step on a rock, you're like, oh, I gotta get this rock out of my shoe. That's not a deal breaker for me.
Yeah. Well, I don't leave the house. So.
But it's not a deal breaker, but they are the most comfortable shoes ever. I will say they're amazing. So
you should try Allbirds too. I'll show you mine before you leave today.
Yeah, show me. But yeah. Oh, real quick before we wrap up, I went on I was on a mission on Amazon to find the perfect cleaners for the sinks at the salon. So we have this extra hair catcher that's in the P-trap type thing, and so you can take off this little thing, you can clean it out, that way the hair doesn't go down the drain. It's great. You have to clean it out daily, but you do get a lot of buildup from shampoo and conditioner. And so I was trying to find anything, because you have to have something that's gonna go in and then go up. Long story short, I bought this drain catcher on the top, so I put it in there. It comes in, and it's much bigger than I thought, but it does work. But the brand is called Ho Like Me. Ho Like Me. From China. And it is HOLIKME.
It's really funny. You posted it on Instagram, and it made me laugh.
I can't even. I have no words for that. I think it is the fucking funniest thing I've ever seen. I was like,
It's pretty funny.
I mean, because the way it's printed, it breaks
up the words,
it breaks
so you
the
can,
words,
totally
you
read it that way.
Totally see it, yeah. It's black lettering, red lettering, and so you totally.
It's fantastic.
It's so great. I love it. And they work so far. Well, I'll see you this week, but I'm always buying new little hair catchers because everybody sheds.
Oh yeah, I mean, and you're doing a rigorous,
Everybody's
shampoo.
shedding. It's pretty funny though. I love it when you can see some kind of a play on. I guess it's kind of a play on word, but I don't know what they're trying to.
I mean, I'm sure it means something different.
The meaning of the owner of the company is a hoe. Just a hoe bag. Just kidding.
Man, whatever. If the product works.
Okay. Sorry, I just thought of something. Anyway, I guess that's a wrap, right? Like we should. I've got some other things that we could talk about next time. Not major, but there's a lot of
for an hour.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of shit that's gonna happen this week. I know it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love you, mean it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, Mel, for the
Paper plane.
paper plane.